Hey everybody, Glenn from Third Millennium. Question and answer time. Today's question is from a customer named Rebecca, who was actually inquiring about her second generation Miata, 99 to 2005. And her question was, she had bought a set of our M800 door speakers and asked, can I leave the stock tweeters connected in my car, in my Miata? And the answer is, technically you could. We do not recommend that you actually do that for a couple of reasons. The primary reason is you wouldn't want to run two tweeters at a time in any audio system unless it was specifically designed for it, because it would be overly bright. Now, the stock tweeters in both the second and the third generation Miatas were very, very bright to begin with, to the point that I would, as somebody who's in audio, I would argue that it's an objectionable brightness. It's poorly designed, or as is the case when I show you the speakers in a second, I don't think there was a lot of design in it. They used some off-the-shelf tweeters that they had in the car. And a lot of Japanese audio is very bright to begin with, so you certainly don't want to use two tweeters. Our M800s are a two-way speaker already. So let me see if I can get one here. Here's one of our M800s. It's got a nice tweeter already built into it. It's a Mylar construction, nice smooth frequency response. So it's a superior tweeter, so you actually want to leave that. So you don't want to have two running at the same time. Also, there's another reason that these tweeters that were stock in the car were not very good tweeters to begin with. Now, in the second generation cars, you had a choice of two tweeters. The standard car used this little guy, and the Bose systems used this particular speaker in this little plastic carrier. The Bose one in particular, it's very peaky, right around 4,000 or 5,000 hertz, and has a really kind of a nasty, tiring sort of a shrill sound to it, particularly if you listen to it for a long period of time. So these are not speakers that you'd want to use, in any case. Fourth, in the original second generation car in particular, the woofer was mounted down low in the doors, and then the tweeter was mounted up right towards the inside front of the door. You really don't want to have speakers mounted in different locations in an audio system, because their speakers travel through the air, and there's an actual speed in which sound moves, and it varies based on frequency. Separating the speakers means that the sound reaching your ears is going to be coming at different times from different speakers. If you have a radio system which has been designed with time delays and so forth to account for all of that, that's great. That isn't what you actually have, in your Miata. The idea of lots of speakers in the auto industry has for a long time been a marketing concept. The idea that to try to auto manufacturers make all of their money in the upgrades for the cars, not for the base car itself. So if they can get you to buy that $800 premium audio system, that's good money for them, because the average amount that's spent on a particular speaker is it's something like $6 is what's actually allocated. So they're selling it for $800, and it's a bunch of cheap speakers like this little Bose speaker. This isn't even what I would call a real tweeter. It's just a little paper cone with a cloth surround. This is about as cheap as you can get for making a speaker. So if they can sell a system that has those for $800, it's good money for them. And then what they actually do is they market that an 8-speaker system is by definition better than a 6-speaker system, which is better than a 4-speaker system, which is better than a 2-speaker system. Actually, the absolute best for giving you a nice stereo image is to have all of the sound come from a single point, left and right, and that's going to create the nicest stereo image and stereo field in front of you. Ideally, you should be able to recreate the positioning in the stereo field of the original live performance. So you think if you went to like a little jazz group, you had a bass guitar, you had a vocalist, maybe you have a horn or something with it, and they're spread out center, left, right. Usually the vocalist is in the center. If you were at that performance, the sound that's reaching your ears, even though it's affected by the room, but say it's a good room, you should be able to, between your eyes and your ears, localize exactly to where the sound is. If you make a recording, a good recording of that same performance, and then sit down and close your eyes and just listen to it, if the speaker system is really well designed, they're good quality speakers, and they're placed right, and point sources, like I said, you should be able to recreate the locations of where each of those instruments or vocals were from that original performance. So that's really what your goal is. So you really don't want speakers put all over the place. Third generation cars, the 2006 through 15s, 2 options. And the door, they did the same thing. They had a woofer, and then they had a standard cars had this little tweeter, and the Bose ones, again, kind of interesting, didn't really use a tweeter. They used a little paper cone full range. Again, you know, Bose is trading on its name. Dr. Bose worked hard at that, and Bose is now actually owned by MIT. I don't know if everybody knew that, but they just take speakers that are off the shelf, build them into the car systems. And one of the things that a lot of people don't realize is in the third generation Miatas with the Bose system, the crossover from the woofer to the tweeter is quite low, so that it's this little cheapo speaker which is producing almost all of the audio that you're hearing in the car, which is one of the reasons why it really doesn't sound too good. So, hope that answers that question. We enjoy doing these question and answers for you. If you have any further questions about this, leave them in the comments down below. We always respond to all the questions that we get. If you're not already a subscriber, please do that. Subscribe so you can be alerted to additional videos that we're releasing. We're doing them all the time, not only of questions and answers like this, but all of the installation for all of our products, showing you exactly how to do everything. Our goal is to make sure that anybody, even if they're just a real casual backyard mechanic with a couple of screwdrivers and pliers, can be successful in installing our products and getting better audio in your Miata. So thanks very much, and we'll see you on the next one.